Hello. I am excited to be able to share with you my reflections on a passage that was indicated in the Advent devotional invitation that just struck my eye and helped me realize that there's some things that I've reflected on over my life that I would like to share. And so the passage that I have for us today is from Psalm 39, verses 6 to 7. From the Common English Bible. The translation says, "Yes, people wander around like shadows. Yes, they hustle and bustle, but pointlessly. They don't even know who will get the wealth they've amassed. So now, Lord, what should I be waiting for? My hope is set on you." The words wait and hope those are my underlines and my italics. They stood out to me and reminded me of a passage from a favorite book that I'll close with. But in the middle, it talks about how we're hustling and bustling and aren't careful or even secure about the wealth that we've amassed. And so I want to suggest that these days we're still hustling and bustling, even though we aren't transporting ourselves from one place to the next when we're largely, stuck at home. We are still busy. Our minds are busy. We are drawn into attention at different times to things that might not be our most worthy thoughts and anxieties. And I think we're still susceptible to these three big lies: that I don't have enough, that I won't have enough, and that things are either one or the other. This false dichotomy sense that life is a zero-sum game. If I get this, then that means I'll have to lose this. I noticed that we're worrying about our health, our wealth, and our contentment. But in fact, spiritually, we invest by being church people in our spiritual health. By being in community, we invest in our relational wealth, and we invest in our lifelong contentment in a life of faith in God. So I actually wanted to take the very briefest moment to do a little math lesson. And so let's do that now. They don't even know who will get the wealth they've amassed. So let's talk about wealth. Here's the math lesson. By earning a big salary, a certain salary, I might reasonably live a similar life on a salary that's a little more or a little less. So I could live with a slightly different quality of life, but pretty much the same if I earned a little more or a little less. But if I choose to live on a little bit less, I can have a very comfortable retirement. I will have enough. And I want to make sure that you understand what I mean by that. What I mean is that by investing maybe 10% of your wealth in your first 20 years, say you earn, say, $36,000 a year in a starting salary at age 22, and that increases so that by the time you're in your 40s, you're earning the median salary in Mercer County, $60,000. Then over the course of your lifetime, if you simply invest 10% of that money and live off of 90% of it, then you will have amassed a retirement income of roughly $1.5 to $2 million by the time you retire at age, say, 65. That's just the mathematics. That's how that works. Even with a very conservative estimate of about 5 or 6%, 7% growth, the reality is that over the history it's been more like 8 or 9 or 10. But even with a very conservative estimate, that money will make money for you if you can do that. And if you invest in your spiritual health by tithing, giving 10% of your earnings, then you will know that you have more than enough, that others are getting it, and that you can live off of less and don't really need this. And so that'll alleviate any anxieties you have, that you don't have enough and that you might not have enough someday. So that's what I would suggest for us might be helpful financially. But I suggest that spiritually, it's helpful for us to remember that we've invested, and to remember to continue to invest in the community and the relationships that we have by investing in our relationship with God in prayer and in reading scripture and reflection, and by investing in the community, in our faith community of support, the church, and continue to worship and stay connected. That our hope set on God and on the incarnation of Jesus is a hope well-founded. So I will resist wandering around like shadows, hustling and bustling pointlessly. I know who will get the wealth they've amassed. It's those who need it more than I do. And so now, Lord, I wait. My hope is set on you. Wait and hope. Those are the last words in the Count of Monte Cristo. And I hope they encourage you today.